I've got this grouping of my golem jade that's in little small hypertufa containers. Now, I've been wanting all year to grow these so that I can plant them in sort of like a bonsai arrangement. I am not real sure if I would know what I'm doing to try to do that, but it would be fun to experiment with them. So what I did, I have some bonsai containers that are just small. Sorry, you can pick them up you can pick them up at the Goodwill for almost nothing. Got the big holes, and these are small and short. Let me show you the difference. See, that's the size comparison. So maybe one or a couple can go into one of these dishes and make me a cute bonsai that I can play with. I've got another one. I think I showed you this in another video. That one was $6.99 at a thrift store. But that one is a bit bigger, longer. So I think all of these could fit into that. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna mix a real lean soil. I've not ordered any special bonsai soil. Not decided if I want to break this one apart or not. I do love the way this one looks in its little round dish. But I don't know. I guess I'll make that decision when it comes down to it. But that's what I want to do for this one. So let's see what we can do. When you've brought plants in from outside, you always need to continually inspect them to be sure that you didn't bring any varmints in. And by varmints, of course, we mean mealybugs. You just kind of have to look over them and see if you notice any white spots. And sometimes white spots are seen as just little speckles, and that's from salt accumulation coming out of the plant. And if I can find one of those, I'll show you what I mean. And you can usually rub that off. But then let me get one of these. I know I saw one on this other side. For instance, in this little container, right here, you can see dots on that particular lobe or branch, leaf, whatever you'd call that. That's just an accumulation out of the pores of that particular golem jade. That's the salt coming out. And that can be wiped away. I don't want to lose focus, or I'd stick my finger in there and move it away. But what you're looking for, instead of those little white, almost snowdrift type things, would be the little white fuzzy mealybug is the one you'd need to worry about. So I'm getting close enough that I touch the plant and make it wiggle. Those little white dots, that's just the salt accumulation. But unfortunately, when I scoped around these plants, I found, let me move her over, a little more than a salt accumulation. Now this might be a little hard to see. I'm going to try to zero in right here, get a good sharp picture, and then I'll zero in. This is what you don't want to see. Oh, I'm going to have to leave it out and then try to focus in the editing. But right there, let me get my, right there is something you don't want to see. That little white fluff ball, you want to get rid of that, because that is bad news. That is a mealybug. And let me see, since I see one, there's probably 10,000 more that I can't see. So let me see if I can find more. They like to hide in the little crevices and the little spots on your plants. So we want to check each of those little holes and make sure there's none hiding. Oh, that looks like one right in. Let me see if I can see where my eyes can see it, as opposed to where the camera can see it. Right in there, I think, is a suspicious. Now, as I swivel the thing around and around, I'm using a magnifying glass. Here, let me show this right here. Got a magnifying glass. But I can't find any way to film through the magnifying glass. So the only thing I can do is show you how you just keep going around and around and around, looking in all the little crevices and all the little spots until you do find something that looks fuzzy and white. And if you catch them early, oh, I think we got one right here. I've kind of got it center screen. Now let me go in and see if I can still keep that in focus. Where'd he go? I can't keep it in focus, but it's this one right here in front of us. Let me see. I can't get that in the little center spot. Nope, I don't know how to do that. And if I put it onto 10x, let me see if I can find it again. It's right there. And I don't know how well you can see that, but it is fuzzy. How can I do this? Let me try this. Maybe if I put it like this, and then in editing, I'll bring that in closer. And you'll see that. But what we've got to do is get rid of that little fuzz ball. And the way you do it is, let's find it in the mirror, Q-tip and alcohol. So let me see what I can do. Now I've speeded this up a little bit because I went a lot slower, but I don't want to take up all the time of the whole video with just the inspection. And basically I took the Q-tip, soaked in alcohol, and went around and searched and searched and searched in every nook and cranny that I could find. And I kind of groomed the plant at the same time, pulling off dead leaves, things like that, little things that I could find in the plant. But I searched and looked for little cottony tufts. And there were, I tried to mark it with a little arrow when I saw some of them, but basically it'll just look like a little bit of cotton fluff stuck to it. And typically when you wipe the Q-tip over it, it slides off. And sometimes, to me, it looks like there's a little orange inside of that big cotton fluff. And if I understand it correctly, the big cotton fluffs are like a tent that the insect makes over it to kind of shield it from you finding it and from maybe other predators finding it, and they hide under there. And I guess it gets harder and harder as it ages, but they reproduce under there, kind of in a little protected cocoon. But anyway, you just have to keep looking. In these golems specifically, the little ears are a place they hide. Maybe the inner portions of a little leaf like that is, they hide. But all you got to do is touch it with this alcohol swab, and that kills it. It dissolves that little tent they're under and kills them. So you can get rid of them as long as you can find all of them. Only one needs to escape, and then you're back infested again after a while, because they can reproduce until they basically coat all the stems and leaves, and the full joint could be coated with that white cottony fluff. And then you're in big trouble, because I don't know then if I would even try to fix it. Okay, once we've looked him over and we feel like we've gotten all the ones away from him. Wait a minute. Look at this closer with my eyeballs. No, that was just the shine of the light. Let me see. I don't see anything else. A few of the things I notice are just scars or spots. Look at that spot right there. This one. Nope, just the shine of the light. Okay. So, what we're going to do with him is we're just going to neem him over and over. Okay, let me find my neem. This neem, neem oil. Now I've got the ready to use neem oil. And we're just going to shake him up. And then we're going to soak this guy. Okay. And that's going to be over, around, and under. So let's do this and try not to get it all over the camera. Okay. down on the soil too. Okay, now let's feel this. Is he dry? He's pretty dry. So just to make sure he's in good condition, let me find him a saucer. We get him a big saucer, and then we're going to water him real well, just to make sure he's in really good shape to fight the bugs. We'll give him just a little dose of the systemic. I'll put that on the screen. He is in such a small container, not going to need very much. But I am just going to sprinkle just a little bit in there. There. Now, that should take care of him. A little more soak to get that systemic through there. Now, he should be good and strengthened up. And then just in case that little guy was next to these others, which I was just getting ready to transplant, I inspected them too, but let's just give them a little bit of a treatment, just in case there was something I did not see. Was this all, or was there another one? I thought there was one more. There we go. Let me look. Oh, right over here. One more. Whoops. That's the danger of having these little tripods sitting all over the place. Number 3. He's already been searched, but just in case. We cannot have any mealybugs in here. Now I'm going to be suspicious of every little gleam that I see. And these aren't in any sunlight or anything, so I don't have to worry about the neem oil burning them. They are under grow lights. And they were fairly recently watered. So, let me just wipe off their little dish over here. Let me see. Now this is where they usually sit, under this grow light. And let me just clean out their dish. I'm getting low on alcohol. I'm going to have to refill. But we'll just make sure it's nice and clean. Now, this is loaded down in here because It's Christmas and everything is sitting in here, in here, in here. And I'll set them back. I didn't find anything active on either of these, but they've had their treatment. Okay, and then the other one, let me see. How about we put him here? I'll put this dish of screen over on another shelf. And then let me just clean this off where I watered it. And we're going to set her in the middle of this dish. Okay. And then that means these are going to go farther away because we can't let them get infected. So that is our guarding against the mealybug and catching it while there's just a few. We'll put our two defenses up here. And I'll get rid of that. So we've got her back over here under the light. Big snow. It's still coming down, but things are looking real good over here. So we will do further inspection on some of these others. Make sure they're doing just fine. But I'm well pleased with all of these. Look how good they're doing. So that's it. Maybe we've staved off a mealybug infestation, but we should be good now. I will set this for 5 days from now. Well, let me say 1 week, and I'll go through her again with another treatment. But I'll let you know. That's how we have to take care of plants when we bring them inside. These were brought inside, doing well, even blooming, that watermelon plant. And the little Ruby Glow is doing real good too. And I didn't see any kind of infestation on her. But be sure and check the ones you've brought inside. But that's it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.